Ooh, man, here we go. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? It is on. And is this thing on? You can't see it, but it's my coffee. It's Saturday morning, kind of I don't want to say unplanned because we knew it was coming, just didn't know when it was coming, but kind of a big deal. Like some might think it's a gimmick, some might think it's a gimmick, but it's kind of a big deal, right? This is the most significant change to a skateboarding truck in my lifetime. I'm 48 years old, and this is the most significant change. I wasn't alive for the roller skate truck being put on wood. I think probably the first truck that came about in my lifetime was probably the Bennett. Let's see if we can switch cameras over to the Bennett real quick. All right, so this was the Bennett truck and eventually Bennett Vector. But this was like the first purposely designed truck for a skateboard from my knowledge. I could be lying to you, but you can see it's square. It's got this double barrel bushing here and your standard base plate that you would get now. It is double drilled for new and old base plate holes, but the original just had the wider old school base plate pattern. But this is like probably the first truck that came out in my lifetime that was specific for skateboarding. Now, all right, where are we at? Where are we at? All right. You've seen tons of videos on these. Tons of videos on these. We have the Grind King lockers. All right. Let me move some of the stuff out of the way. Boop, boop. All right. Grind King lockers. You've seen tons of videos on these. If you haven't, they're out there. I'll recommend a few at the end of this. But this is a very significant change to skateboarding trucks and design and everything. Right off the bat, before I get into the details I'm going to get into, I'm not going to get into some of the deeper details because I think some other people did outstanding jobs and I'm going to recommend their videos. But like right off the bat, this feels incredibly light. Incredibly light. I was really surprised by that. And I'll show you why here in a minute. But my I don't want to say my biggest issue because I don't have an issue, but they sent these trucks out to a bunch of great skaters, right? Dan Corrigan, Mowgli, Michael Relevant, um, Jason Dagner, just great skaters. I believe this truck is made to help guys like me, guys that aren't great skaters. And we are just now getting our hands on them. I ordered on Drop 2. I received these I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago. Today's the 8th. Maybe it wasn't that long ago. Maybe I got them on the 6th. I don't know. Um, but this is now like what's gonna happen when a crappy skater skates them? Like, is this gonna help me? Because I think the good skaters, they're gonna be able to tell you, yes, I can, or no, I can't get my tricks on them. Yeah, I feel a little more locked in, or I didn't. But a crappy skater like me, like if I can land a new trick because of the locker design, now now we've got some credibility, some street cred, some credibility. So I'm excited to see uh, if I can land something. For me, let me take this sticker off. It's bothering me. For me, if I can land a backside 50-50, backside grind at all, then then I think they are what they are. I think they are what they're supposed to be because I am not good at backside grinds, locking them in and keeping my balance in them. Um, also, I've been working on nose grinds forever, and I don't quite get those. Maybe that'll help me with that. So I'll show you. A lot of people will talk about the hanger. I want to talk a little bit about the base plate. So here's the hanger, right? Obviously, it's got the lock in um, built-in grooves, right? These are grooves that if you were a solid skateboarder and you were doing a lot of crooks or 50s or cross locks, like you would wear these in yourselves. These have been manufactured in there to try and hold you in. That's why I think it's going to help crappy skaters like me. All right. Lots of clearance because it is an inverted kingpin. That is where Grind King started with kingpins. And then you'll learn about from other videos, it's a 3 bushing system, a hard bushing, and then 2 equally soft bushings. Forget the Duro, they're in other videos. But you can take out this middle one and drop that down just the black and the big orange to have a looser ride fit. I also seen Jason Dagner took out the black and left the 2 orange, and he said it rode similar to an Indy, and I thought that was interesting. All right, this little space down here, that's for storing any washer you take out. Just a nice little cutout. And here's the bottom design. You can see how the nut locks right in there for your reverse kingpin. But here's where it's interesting, right? See all these holes? Tons of holes in here. This is making this super light. Like this looks like a beefy base plate, right? This is super beefy. But because they cut so much out of it, it's really light. I'm impressed with how light it is. All right. And then you've got the 3 different options for your wheelbase, right? You could go all the way up for a short wheelbase, or you could go all the way down for a long wheelbase or kind of a standard wheelbase in the middle. Here's my concern is I do a lot of slapping. So if I'm pounding this over and over again, am I going to wear these teeth away on slappy nose grinds over time? I don't have the Grind King bolts. I'm just going to use some standard hardware, but will these teeth hold up doing a bunch of slappy nose grinds? Nose grinds, my bad. I can't nose grind yet. Nose slide, slappy nose slides. Will those hold up? All right. I do like that it has a beefy slide area on the base plate. All right. To compare it to the new Venture V8, that is also an adjustable, gives you 2 points for a wide wheelbase or a short wheelbase base plate. But look how small this slide area is. When I was trying these, I was teetering back and forth. This is easily double the size of the Venture V8. I think that's going to be more stable. All right. The other part about this base plate is just the general size of it. All right. So here's the front. So you know, as I'm flipping it, here's the back. This rounded part will be towards the center of your board. This will be towards the nose or the tail. And compare it to the same size. This is an 875. Compare it to an 875 Thunder. All right. So if I line up the top, you can see. Oh, let me line it up better. You can see how much more space or footprint you have available on the Grind King. This should reduce stress around the truck area of the board where you get stress cracks. All right. I think that's pretty interesting. Let me line that up. Now, if I line up the holes, let's line up the center holes. So if I lined up the center holes, this would be your difference. You'd have about 1/8 of an inch on top, almost 1/8 around the sides. Sorry, this is hard to see. Almost 1/8 around the sides, and probably close to 1/4 at the deepest part in the middle. So this should reduce some stress cracks. I've got some other trucks here, and I'm just going to line them up and kind of show you the height of the Grind King locker versus some of the standard trucks we all ride. I don't have a independent stage 11 out here, but I do have an independent stage 4 out here. So we'll go over those. All right. Sorry for the weird view here, but this is the best way I can show you this. All right. So here in the silver, you've got a 875 Thunder truck, and you can see how much lower the Grind King is sitting. All right, how much lower the axle's sitting. That's significantly lower. And this is just a standard. This is a standard Thunder. All right, nothing. It's not a standard. It's not a low or anything. So that's a significant. It's almost a full axle. Um, can't slip it underneath. It touches at the bottom, but that's compared to a Thunder. Here you have a Slappy 8.5. All right, you can see just a little bit higher than the Thunder, but not much. It's still significantly lower than the Grind King locker. This is the new Venture V8 with the adjustable wheelbase setting. You can see also sits much lower than the Grind King locker. Now this is 875 and this is 8.5. I don't think it'd make that much of a difference if this was an 875 truck. It's definitely sitting probably equal to where the Thunder was sitting. This is an independent stage 4. All right. Again, much lower than the Grind King locker. My truck of choice normally is an Ace. That is the number one truck I ride. And the Ace is sitting probably half an axle down, if not a little more, than the Grind King locker. So hopefully that provides some context on the ride height of the Grind King lockers. I'm not sure on the geometry and the angle of the hanger, the axle, the kingpin. Just eyeballing it next to these other trucks, it kind of looks it's closer to the Ace than any of the other trucks over here. Um, we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to set these up on a board. Um, I ordered 875 before I kind of made a commitment at the beginning of the year to find a board shape and stick with it. So these trucks are going to be slightly bigger than or wider than the board I'm putting them on. I'm going to put them on an 8.6 because I've made a commitment to myself that I'm not going to change my street setup, my deck this year. I'm staying with the same deck. I've had board madness too long. I did this last year with an all I need the first part of the year, skated 3 or 4 of those, and it really improved my skating. And then I got back into the board madness and lost a whole bunch. So I'm going to put these on an 8.6, and it's going to be what it is. They're going to stick out a little bit. I'll just have to be careful on the primos and all that, and we'll see how it goes. But I don't know when this video is going to come out. I'm going to set this up real quick. I'll let you see that if you're interested. If you want the details on this truck, like watch all the videos from Michael Relevant. Watch Jason Dagner just uploaded a great video on February 7th. Look up for that video. He did a really good job, really tinkering with it and getting it where he wanted it. I'm just going to ride it standard as it is, and it's going to be awesome. So we'll see what happens when a crappy skater skates the Grind King lockers. And we're going to skate it on a board that's too small for it. But that's okay, because I'm not going to have board madness this year. I will have board madness on my bull boards. You're about to see some great bull board setups and some old school setups. But when it comes to my street skating, I'm sticking to one board. More on that later. But for now, let me set this board up and I'll be right back. All right. In the magic of time travel, we've got the board set up. All right. So, got it set up on an 8.6. I'm gonna zoom up there real quick and show you how the trucks fit. I don't think they've got a bad fit on the 8.6 board. Hold on. I think that fit's nice. All right. So how did I mount them? All right. Like I said earlier, you've got the three mounting, like I said earlier, you have the three base plate mounting hole options for wheelbase. I took the first set all the way to the nose. I'll explain that in a minute. And the second one I took as far back as I could towards the tail. And here's why. Here's my current setup. Same board, same wheels, 53 millimeter wheels on both, Bones X formula on both. I think 53 is a good choice also for the Grind Kings because they do sit higher. All right, so the wheelbase on my current setup is just about 17.25 inches. I wanted this wheelbase to be the same to have the least amount of adjustment. So I've got it at 17.25 inches. All right, you would think everything else would be the same, but it's not. On my current setup, the nose is at just over 6.25, below 6.5. On the Grind Kings, the nose is over 6.5. So I've got more nose on this setup than I would with the Ace. And again, same shape board. On the tail, my current setup is just under 7 inches. On the new setup with the Grind Kings, the tail is just over 6.5. So I've lost some tail, gained some nose, but I've kept the wheelbase the same. My concern is if I shift this up at all, that I'll lose more nose than I want to lose, or I'll change the wheelbase. So we're gonna go with this for now because this is about as close as I'm gonna get it with the adjustments available. And maybe we'll play with it as we go. The only thing I would add is I'm gonna have to add a 7/32 Allen wrench to my skate bag because that's the way I'm be able to adjust these trucks on the new one. So that's where we're at. We're set up. I think we got it where we want it. We got the right wheelbase. We got the nose roughly where we want it. We got the tail roughly where we want it without changing anything too dramatically in one direction or the other. We're gonna give it a skate. Not sure when the skating part of this video will come out because I got to go skate it. But I wanted to give you this part up front because I think it's important. Again, most significant change to a truck in my lifetime, and I'm excited to try it. And I'll just a reminder, like, go check out Michael Relevance videos. Go check out the video from Jason Dagner. Man, those are super good videos. And watch the Grind King channel. They're always putting out good information. I think that's it. It's all about the skating the board now. All right. I'm going to go do something rad so you can go do something rad as well. Appreciate you being here, checking it out. This was not one of the planned February videos, but I think it's important. So go get rad. I'm out.
No bullshit. We're running out of legs. first attempt. We might actually get this.